Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island. We are working on the controls because we're in the PC version, the map editor. W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E to go up, right click and hold the mouse button, and that'll pan the camera around. Anyway, last time we put the map into a saved game that we already have running. That is the only way you can do it. Start a game, save it, and then you can go back to the cartographer, drag your map onto the world map, hit apply, and that's basically it. And we did that, and we had a little wander around, and some things worked. I did like the airplane up in the tree. It's very high up, but that's fine. And then we have things like the beach, and the beach is... I mean, smoothing's a pain, because smoothing just doesn't really work in this version of the game 1.0 on the PC version of the game. They are currently, as we are watching, working a lot on bug fixes and quality of life fixes on the console versions of the game, but as far as the PC version goes, the last bug fix patch was in December and the last full update was in August of last year. Yeah, we're very close to having a year without any major updates for the game, and the last main patch broke smooth sand. Smooth sand is absolutely 100% hand on heart broken. You can run along the outside of your new island with the smooth height brush and it won't do anything. Well, it will until you hit save, and then it'll go back to looking like poo. So it also works with the islands in the game itself. So if you look at an island in the game, look at the sand, chances are the sand is also a bit rough and, well, square and poo looking. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. But I was looking at this island, and after the last episode, I was like, that ficus is fine, but we should probably get rid of it. I don't think we can even select it. That's the Nana, that's the cliff, that is a rock. Yeah, from here we can't even select it. So if we were to try and get it, in this mess of stuff, that's the little ficus. I don't even know if we can select big ficus. Ooh, that's big ficus. Oh, big ficus. Oop. Yes, please. So if I delete big ficus and then move back, oh, there's more big ficus. Ooh, I forgot. Yeah, we put a world ficus in. That's world ficus. Okay, let's get rid of that as well. And we move back out. So one of the things we need to know is that the camera will move independently of our WS, A and D. So as we move forward, as we get close to an object, the camera will slow down. And then as soon as we pass the object, the camera will speed up again until you get away from all objects. The camera will go super fast. There is no constant velocity for the camera in the map editor. It will look like we are just freaking out. We're not, but it'll look like that way. Yeah, so in the edit of the last video, I was looking up and was thinking, yeah, I actually do like seeing the underside of the wing and the underside of the aircraft. Maybe we can open that up a bit. So taking out the big world ficus has done that. We can drop this down a little bit, the little ficus, maybe move it forward slightly, and have all that foliage between the nacelle and the actual airframe itself, but still have that all opened up. I think that looks a lot better. That looks much cleaner. Excellent. That's one thing. Terrain objects. But the main problem with this island, the main thing that does not bring me joy is that this is a fine island. It's technically okay. We have an offshore island that we made, a little islet that we made, which you can put in a house or something on if you wanted to. We have our wreck, which we were putting in a couple of episodes ago. And we have all of these things like the mangrove swamp. And we have the survivor camp, and we have the little rowboat, and it looks fine individually. We've been putting in these individual elements, but we need something. The pine forest is good, and the aeroplane is good, but I feel there's something missing. I think we should just crank it up to 11, rip the knob off, and just see what happens. Bearing in mind that there is no undo in the game. If you make a mistake, you have to go and load a save often. Anyway, we're going to go grab some structures in the form of rocks, in the form of cliff 6. There we go. I'm just going to slam some cliffs down. Hello, cliff. You're big. How big? Ooh, very big. So we have been using Mr. Door for scale. Mr. Door is amazing. If you hit on rocks and you hit on structures, you get all of these doors. That's Mr. Door. What I kind of hadn't figured on is you have to put your head about where the porthole is. And that gives you the view up into the trees. That gives you the actual view from everything that you're looking around at. And I'm like, oh yeah, in game, that airplane's very tall. Those cows are very far away. These cows are very small. Anyway, yeah, so I thought, well, let's grab some cliff pieces and just slam them into the ground. Slam you into the ground and make a mess of things. And everyone's going to just be like, I don't know what's going on. I think you've lost your mind. And maybe I have. So, WSA&D, never mind the cameras jerking around, because it's just what's going to happen. We need to close items. We need to go back to rocks. I'm going to find Cliff 6. Cliff 6 is a good cliff piece to have in your inventory. I'm just going to T to transform. So R to rotate, T to transform, F to focus, which puts it in the middle of the screen, and C to clone if you wanted to clone something. Delete to delete. There you go. There you go. There. Now we know. Now we know. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to do this. And you're thinking, no, I don't see. I honestly don't see what's going on here. It's fine. It's fine. So we're just going to rotate. I'm going to transform. I'm going to move the camera so we can see the toggles. Oh. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm going to have to do some stuff with terrain as well, which is fine. So we're going to hit R to rotate, and I'm going to use that to go down, rotate that a little bit, T to transform. And you might say, what does the underside of the map look like? Because this looks like crazy. This is absolutely insane. Well, hold on to your pants, because if you do push yourself through the terrain, you can see what's underneath the map. I won't go underneath the water for everyone who actually has thalassophobia or submechanophobia, but yes, everything that you push under the map is in fact under the map. So that's a thing there, isn't it? Right, so we've put in some rocks. Are you insane? Have you lost your noodles, your marbles? Is your brain fallen out of your butt? Yes, yes to all of those. So I'm going to grab the hard brush, and what I'm going to do, I think some people already know what we're going to do. Grab the amount slider is inherited. If you select it all the way up because you're smoothing, it doesn't work. But if you were doing that, and then you hit, lower, left click, bam, hold to the center of the planet, and you are going to be reloading your save. Why? Because the amount slider is insanity levels of inherited between all of these options. So is the brush size, but I don't know. Anyway, hard brush. Why? You seem full of beans. You're full of beans. I'm full of beans. In fact, I'm going to use set height because it's less lethal. Read terrain paint height. Going to click on the blue part of the ocean that's not too far offshore. Excellent. The amount slider is just off the stop. Left click and hold. Left click and hold. And then just pull it all away from the ocean. Oh, you're making a river, right? Yeah, I'm making the rivers of our little county. Okay. We don't want bubbles. Bubbles are a problem. But we're putting in the cliffs because, well, that's what we want. And we'll do a little thing, I think. A little thingy thing. The reason we're reading terrain height instead of just pushing down with the raise and lower height is because if we push down with the raise and lower height, the main problem that we would have is that we would just keep pushing down into the earth. This way, if we look underneath the water, the ground is only ever going to go down as far as the height that we've selected. So that's kind of fun. A little fun thing there. I push it over this way, just curl it around at the end. I don't really want it joining. I don't want it joining the ocean. I do want it to be here, so I'm going to make another little pool of water. Okay, just going to soften that up a little bit. Brush that back. Oh, but you've created something of a problem. Yes, I have. In fact, I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to change the brush size down a little bit. And I want to expose some of the rock. There we go. So I want sand on one side. The reason we use cliffs is you can do that. You can have a little bit of sand on one side and a little bit of rock on the other side. So there we go. It's nice. Nice. This side might be a little bit too high, so we can select objects and just move the camera. Drop it down a little bit. Oh, what about this side? A little bit. Seems a waste to have a huge cliff piece there and not use all of it, but hey, it's just how these things are. R to rotate. T to transform. That's snapped onto a different object. Got to keep an eye on that because that's a funky little thing that the game likes to do. Excellent. I like this. I like where we're going with this. So, what is that from? I think that's Garak from Deep Space Nine. He goes, so. It's either that or Goldicott. Wait, Deep Space Nine? Is that the sci-fi that was based on Babylon 5? Yes. So Babylon 5 came first, and that was completely written before Deep Space Nine was out. But they were both released by Paramount, and Paramount went, "Oh, we need a setting for our new Star Trek sci-fi." And somebody said, "Oh, what about this TV show that we are going to make but haven't made yet, called Babylon 5?" And then they basically copied Babylon 5 and turned it into Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which is a fun little thing. So we are going to smooth the height. I'm going to use a soft brush for that. Which is better, DS9 or Babylon 5? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. So, Babylon 5 has a better story because it was written over 5 seasons. So all 5 seasons were written before it was filmed. But Deep Space Nine has better graphics, I suppose you would call it, because they had the bigger budget. And they used ship models instead of CG ships for the early seasons. So we're just going to smooth all this off. It's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things, because ultimately the main problem with smoothing is that the game is just going to ignore everything we've done. But what it will do is it'll equalize all the heights between everything. So that's kind of nice. We could leave that like that, in fact, as a little walkthrough. That's kind of nice. I like that. I do. I really do like that. But we got a problem here. We've got a big pool. It's a big pool and it's got nothing in it. There's sort of stuff that's not happening. Oh, we're going to use Shoreline Rock 1. Yeah, if we hated ourselves, we could. But as soon as you let go of it, you can't ever select it again. It's bugged! In a good way? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. In a very bad way. So what we're going to do is put this here, hit R to rotate, and then what we're going to do is make sure that a player could actually run down and run across it, across the top of it, if they needed to. So we'll just rotate that so it is in fact a flat path. Just rotate the tail in. There you go. Oh, you're making a little path for the player. Little rat run. Yes, I am. I'm going to clone that. So we got transform already. Going to rotate it. There we go. There we go. Now we know. So now we know comes from that Mitchell and Webb look. It was one of their sketches. It's not just nonsense. There we go. So we've put those 2 pieces down. We could do another one. C to clone, E to transform. Don't need to push T to transform. R to rotate, but we are going to. So sometimes I'll hit a button more than once, like that. Just muscle memory, really. It doesn't mean too much. I want to move this. We did put a tree there that was sort of nestled into where the rocket is. But I'm going to just kind of change that slightly, rotate it. You can change things on the island. Nothing's set in stone. Even if you make it out of stone, it's not set in it. So, T to transform. Pull that out. So what are you doing? Well, one of the things that they did suggest, the developers of the game suggested a long time ago, is that they would have river sections, like stream sections, flowing water. And you can do that quite easily by having something like a piece that you pull out of the toolbox, which has essentially a trough in it with a running water animation. And you just connect all the pieces together, like Scalextric or Brio or Aquaplay, any of those sort of like road sections or canal sections, like kids' toys that you connect together. And then they never did. So terrain, soft brush, I'm going to raise. I'm going to raise. Make sure the amount is just off the stop, and then I'm just going to bring it out here. Because really we don't need too much going on under there. Okay, objects, just so that we've got the ability to move the stuff in. In fact, what I might do is smooth that. Might be a better idea. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Much better. Oh, we're exposing the tree root. I know. I know. It's just one of those things. Raise and lower. No. Set repaint rate height. Let's set the height. Set it. Crank that down and just push that back as much as we dare. Just keeping an eye on this bit at the top, but pushing that back. I don't want the player to get stuck under there, but yeah, that's fine. So, objects. Rotate. No, I think that's fine. That's probably okay, but I'm going to move it back a little bit. And then rotate that. There we go. Just want to make sure there's no like obvious gaps or anything. We can't fix everything. Tree, you can go back down into the ground. Okay, there you go. There you go. Right, big rock. It is a big rock. We're probably going to need small rocks for this, but let's have a look. So I just want to chunk something in there. So basically what we're doing is making a little the source of the stream. Right, so I'm just going to chunk that in. To rotate. Yep. You see this all the time in Unity-based games. There's a lot of pieces all stacked together, like rock sections or cliff sections. It was noticeable in the forest when you went to the center of the island, if you ever got to the center of the island, and then you would see just a repeated cliff texture around the center of the island, and that was like that game's equivalent of Cliff 6. I was like, oh, that's what's in the middle. They just don't want you to get there. So, okay. So just move that in. And ultimately what we need to do is just make it so that the player can go, ooh, there's something in there, but they can't get in there. Ah. Terrain objects. So we're going to use smaller rocks. Ooh. Yep. So I'll rotate that around till we find a nice section. That's probably okay. T to transform. And just C to clone. Kind of R to rotate. Just making a little decoration here. Because I think we need something big. We need something interesting, something here. Because if we don't, we run the risk of disappointing ourselves. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. Okay, I'm going to move that back slightly. Oh, incidentally, this is also how you make a cave. You just stack either rocks or cliff sections. Cliff 6, just make an arch out of Cliff 6. And then, yeah, make an arch out of Cliff 6. And then put a load of trees on top, and then you go. They have a cave. Right. I'm going to rotate this. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that because there's too much symmetry between the left and right, and I don't want the symmetry there. I do not want the symmetry. So as you pull out the toolbox, it's just going to try and stick to whatever terrain you've got it. Got it pressed up against, but that's fine. I'm trying to get to this blue toggle. No. Fine. Oh, but it doesn't look very source of the River Nile. Well, we're working with what we've got here, lads. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not a lad. Well, it's a colloquialism. It's like saying dudes. Doesn't matter who you are or what you are. You're still a dude to me. We're all friends here after all. Okay, cool. So we have a little walkway, so you can go up over the top. Boop. You can now go down across the water because you've got this natural gap in the top of Cliff 6. So you can go across straight into the forest. So you've got those pathways. If you want to, you can run down the water into the sea if you should so wish. And then you got this little bit here. Now we're going to do something with this. Of course we're going to do something with this. We are going to grab some rocks. No, we're not. We're going to grab the terrain. I'm going to smooth the ass out of this because, well, why would we not? We're going to crank it up, crank the amount all the way up, and just smooth away. Because even though this doesn't do anything, and we know that it doesn't do anything, I need this little joining strip of land to be a little bit smoother than it actually is. So we'll do it, and then next episode we'll come back and all of this lovely smooth sand, which this is what it should look like, will now look like poo. Oh, you keep saying it looks like poo. It just will. It just will. Unless Ben and Sam release an update for the PC version that stops it looking like. Because over there, you can see that there is a little bit of... I think it's the LOD models. I swear it's the LOD models for the island, but whatever. Objects. Oh, I know what you're going to do now. Yes, I know what I'm going to do now as well. Everyone's going to do it because we all have to. I'm going to put some trees in, so it means we have to put some rocks in, and we're going to put some rocks in, and we're going to put some trees next to the rocks. A little arrow, a little heart-shaped arrow, that's going to be fine. Little T, little drop it down. We'll go back up. We'll hit up trees, terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. We are going to put in... Now, do we want to put in a big tree or a little tree? I don't know. Big tree, little tree, cardboard box. I'll leave that for the hot second because I just want to scoot along here. We do need to just look at this little bit of terrain here. So I'm just going to smooth that as well. And smooth that over there. Because, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. So, objects, trees. Now we can go back and slap in another ficus. Ficus tree 2? Oh, so decadent. But yeah, ficus tree 2. I'm going to slam it right into the crevice in that rock. Ooh, right in the crevice. Yep. And then T to transform. Drop down. R to rotate. Let's give it a little lean. There you go. C to climb. R to rotate. T to transform. Ooh. There you go. In fact, I'm going to rotate it even more over. How naughty. Have you ever seen a tree like it? I have. It's right here. But there you go, little tree action, terrain objects. Do the same thing here. I'm going to be a little bit careful of things like shadows and stuff, but honestly, we've got a giant forest here. I mean, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, as long as these two trees aren't kind of roughly the same. No, they're alright. Okay, terrain objects. Can put a big old tree at the end. Ooh, that would be a big old tree at the end. I don't know. Maybe we do something a little lightweight. We have the ficus tree 1. Put you in there. That kind of works. Although what happens if a player decides, oh, you know what, we're going to chop it all down. But wait, we have an example of this over here. So we've done this before. Where we've... Oh yeah, there we go. We've thrown in some rocks. Now, unfortunately, we can't just left click, select all of this and move it over from one side of the island to another. That... Oh god, that camera. That will be the most amazing thing that we could do. Just like drag a bunch of stuff from one side of the island to another. And then rotate the whole thing and just drop it as a stamp of stuff that we previously made. Previously on What We Done Made. So we'll do this instead. We'll do this instead. Little splash of rocks. So little transform. There you go. Terrain objects. Not the camera. I don't think the camera does anything. Oh, we don't need trees. Ooh, okay. So we'll grab the old ficus tree. Ficus tree 1. PQRF. Ficus tree 1. There you go. Drop you in there. T-transform, drag it down, move it closer into the rock. Oh, can I even select you anymore? I don't think I can. I would have to look away. No. That's a rock. That's a rock. That's a rock lobster? I can move you away. And I can move you away. There we go. Let's move down a bit. And then R to rotate. That'll do. Need to transform. Just move the whole lot back. It's as much as you can do when it comes to moving things around. I'll move it slightly further in. There you go. And then what I might do is put another ficus just on the end. Drop down. Now we rotated one. Ooh, doesn't that so good though? In which case we'll get rid of it. Don't need it. That looks better. Looks a little bit more open. Okay, the salmon. You are a large structural plant. You are a large structural plant. Very well done. But I need something else first. The wild love plant. Throw you in there. It doesn't do anything. The fruit of it doesn't do anything, but it will add a little greenery where we don't have the height map to make greenery. So that's kind of cool. We'll add PP in there as well. Where's my PP? PP. You're right in front of me. Well, it's the last place you look. Anyway, so you got your PP in there. Now we can add some big chunky plants. Salmon? Yeah. Yes, of course. And you... But I can just let go and then just move it in. Drop it down. Hit R to rotate. Make sure there is nothing. T-transform. That'll do. Yeah, that'll do. It's fine. Excellent. Little Nana? Ooh, little Nana action. I do like the Nana plant. It is a good plant. It's a good, solid plant which you can put in. It's a structural plant. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't give you any nanas. But there's a good old chunk of plant there. Good. Excellent. Good. Ah, nice little thing on the beach. You know what? We can just leave that go. Cool. So we've just added in a little river. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, yeah. What else? Objects. Some objet d'art. Yeah. Yeah. Because one of the things you can do here is, if you want your Nana, is you can just pop your Nana just about anywhere. So find a nice angle for your Nana. That is not a nice angle, but we can do this. T-transform, just pop it into the rock. Doesn't need to actually touch the rock. Not really. I mean, that is, but that's fine. So we've added a little greenery there on what would be otherwise a large open area of rock. It's just kind of a big boring thing otherwise. Ooh, you're never supposed to say it's boring. It is though. And you can get away with it adding plants to rocks because plants grow out of rock faces all the time. It's just something they do. So just left click and hold. And if it looks like it's a good place for a plant, let go. If it doesn't, don't let go. Put it back in the toolbox. Get rid of it. If it does not bring you joy, get rid of it. Oh. That's actually touching the water, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Thrown objects. Cocoa bush. That's too much bush. Too much bush. Too much. There's no such thing. I'm afraid sometimes there just is. We can. And so we got a hole there. So what we can do is just add a bit of greenery covering that hole. Yes. So we got an alocasia 1 and alocasia 2. Oh, that I think would be too much. Can we do that in such a way that it isn't too much? Let's try this. Zoop. Zoop. Rotate. Delete. No, that is definitely too much. Okay, fine. So what we need is just some greenery just to cover that up. That little hole there. So we'll pop that in. I'll rotate it in such a way that so you know something's there, but the entrance is largely covered. Zoop. And then auto rotate. Just make sure the leaf is actually rotated over the gap. There you go. So it's a source, it's a spring, it's a spring. Is there anything else we can pop here in terms of small trees? Not really. We've got the pine saplings, but we don't really need those. Potatoes, guavas. You could probably add a guava or something here. A little shrubby guava bush. But you'd never be able to access it. That's a thing. That is a thing. So we can always come back to that and dress it a little bit more. Nana probably is probably a good idea. Ooh, lava. Yeah, probably add that in there as well. Yeah, that works really well. Oh yeah. Check out my weirdly viney greenery. That is a surprising but kind of useful way of using that plant. Teach transform. You know, you have to check it in game to make sure the air. There you go. To make sure that, I mean, this is clipped through, but it doesn't matter so much because you're using it as like a climbing creeper, climbing vine. Excellent. Oh, little pink flowers as well. I mean, they were never put into a recipe, so that's fine. What I might do then is leave that there. It's a good start, and it is a good change to the island. So we have just carved a chunk in, and it is a natural river. We have other water features. We have a little pond. We have a mangrove swamp. But there we go. That's much more interesting. And we can always dress this. We can add plants and things as well. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So, if you like this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you want notifications, click the little bell. If you don't want notifications, don't dingle the bingle, and I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.